Hey everybody, I am coming making this video message and I want to let you know to not tell them anything. Who are the people that I'm referring to? I am referring to people who come back to you from the past. People that you once had a connection with. It could have been a connection with them from school, from your neighborhood, or sometimes we have old connections with people because they shared someone mutual in our lives. So let me give you guys an example. You may have a cousin that dated a particular person, and through that particular cousin or family member either being married to that person at one point, or they dated them, or they had children with them, you developed a relationship with them as far as being cool with them or being friends with them. And so when you have these situations come about where there are people that you used to be connected to, it may not have ended on a bad note. You may not have had a situation where people from your past crossed you, or they backdoored you, or you did something or said something that was offensive to them. It may not always be like that as far as people who are now in your past. Sometimes life is just going to life. People get busy, people get married, people get divorced, people have children, people relocate. And so it's no hard feelings. It's just that you get to a place in your life where you understand, you know what? I used to be cool with that person. I used to be cool with him. I used to be cool with her. We used to really get along and vibe with each other. We had great conversations. We used to hang out. We used to kick it. We used to laugh. But now where you are, you understand that that time of your life has come to an end. It's not personal. You don't have beef with anybody. It's just that you have been out here living. They, hopefully, have been out here living. But you guys had to know it was a but coming. You don't tell anybody anything from the past that you have not talked to or had a relationship with, especially if you had a relationship with them on account of somebody that you know now. Now, I know right now some of you all may get confused. What I'm saying to you is that if you have somebody from your past that had a marriage, or they had a child or children, or they had a business partnership, or they ran ministry with someone who is near and dear to your heart. Maybe it was your mother. Maybe it was your father. Like I said, maybe it was a cousin. Maybe it was just a very close family member, and that person is no longer connected to them. Now they have an issue with that person. They didn't end on a good note, but they had managed to maintain being civil with you. And so what I'm saying in so many words is that there will be people from the past who have been directly connected to you, or people who used to be connected to you, or the people that you are very close to now. And they will pop up to check in to get inside information on yourself or the person that they used to be connected to through you, or vice versa. When somebody out the blue randomly calls you up and they are not really telling you why they call, they're not really clear on what it is that they want. They're not clear on what their motive or agenda is. They just randomly call you or text you or email you, or they found your social media and they immediately go into the relationship that they used to have with you or the cousin or the mother or the father or that particular loved one. Now, they may try to make it appear like they were contacting you to check up on you and see how you were, but then they go into asking you personal questions about yourself, or they go into asking you personal questions about that family member. I want you all to be aware of how the enemy works. The enemy is very slick. The enemy is very crafty. The enemy is very sneaky. And the enemy will use any vessel. He will use any tool to try to get what he wants, to try to bring confusion, or to try to bring a disturbance in your life. And sometimes what the enemy does too is that when there is a monitoring spirit and that spirit sees that it cannot pull from information on social media anymore because you may not be there a lot now, when that monitoring spirit have caught on to the fact you're not going to give certain information to close friends or mutual friends or people that they used to have a connection with, what the enemy does that is using these people is it tries to be slick, and it tries to come from an angle of being that familiar person. And so what does some people do? Well, you know what? I want to know how my ex-boyfriend is doing. I want to know how my ex-husband is doing. I want to know how these particular old friends are doing. I want to find out what they got going on. I want to find out what this person got going on. Even though we didn't end on a bad note, they'll freely give me the information. They will freely tell me because I was cool with them back in the day. So they won't feel it's sketchy with me calling them and asking them a question. They'll just take it as I'm just having a conversation with them and we're just cool. I am here to tell you all, be on your alert, be on your post, be on your P's and Q's, because there are people who will try to slip and slide from the past back your way to get whatever information they can as to what you have going on. See, the thing about it is that a lot of people out here, they love to compare their life to others. When they feel like you have one up them, when they feel like you've stepped your cookies up, when they feel like, you know what, he or she has not put in half of the work that I have put in to get where I am. So I'm curious to know what they're doing to maintain the little that they have. I'm curious to know what they got going on, because I see that there is clearly something going on, or I heard something was going on, but I don't have all of the loose ends that I'm looking for. So since I used to be cool with this person, let me hit them up. Let me call them. Let me just ask them a couple of questions. And you guys know what happens. This is how you're going to know that the person is fake. This is how you're going to know that the enemy used that person as a host or as a vessel. This is how you're going to know that the person really too much doesn't care about you like that. They just specifically wanted info or information. Is because after you have the conversation with them, you may not even catch on when they contact you. You may really believe that it's pure and it's wholesome, but you will know that it's fake because when you get off the phone with them, when you're done talking to them, you feel drained. You feel off. You feel different. You feel like, I just poured myself out, but I don't feel right about it. You start replaying a conversation in your head, and you may get it and come to yourself later down the line, later that day or the next day or a week from that conversation and say, you know what? That's kind of weird. They called me randomly and I haven't seen that person in 10 years. I haven't seen that person in 15 years. They not even trying to link up with me and be cool with me. They just specifically called me to ask me questions about somebody that I used to be friends with. They specifically called me to ask me questions about this particular person in my bloodline that they used to be connected to or married to or they dated. And you will also notice that these people that do this, they never call you again. They don't call you again after that. They may get off the phone with you and say, you know what? I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you back. I'm at work. I'm going to call you back. I got to go get my kids. I'm going to call you back. I got to run to the store. I'm going to call you back. I'm going to take a nap. But you never hear from them again. And time passes. But that same person or those same people, they will spring up and call you again. But when they call you again, they're on the same thing again, questioning you about that particular person in your family that they used to mess with, questioning you about certain friends they used to be friends with that you know, or questioning you about what you have going on. Anytime somebody keeps calling you and every time they call you, they just want to ask you questions. They just want to get information. You better be on guard and you better be on alert. Tell these people nothing. Keep the conversation general. Ask them, you know what? What made you think about me? What made you call me? What made you reach out to me? What do you expect to gain from this conversation? This is how you're going to be able to weed out the motives of some people. People are very slick and cunning now. And so now you have to be very intentional on even general conversations you have with people, especially people that you are not dealing with and associating with on a regular basis. That is the point of this video message. Tell them nothing. Don't be quick to share your information. Don't sit around having conversations about other people that person used to deal with. If they want to know what that person has going on or how they're doing, they need to call the person directly. But you know what certain people with this characteristic does? They're not going to call the horse directly and hear the information that they want straight from the horse's mouth. They're going to call somebody that they know is close to that person, because they may be more free and open and easygoing to tell them what it is they want to know. And sometimes it happens and it's unbeknownst to the person that is having a conversation with the individual who reached out to them. And so before I get out of here, I just want to say it again. People that move like this, people that operate like this, don't tell them anything. Stop people dead in their tracks. When you have not seen somebody for many years, when you have not talked to somebody for many years and they randomly call you and all they want to do is ask you a bunch of questions of what you got going on or what somebody has going on that they used to deal with that you're friends with or they're in your family, you've got to know that that's a very big red flag. If people that care about you or they claim to care about you or they miss you or they want to reminisce on the past relationship or friendship you had with them, you're going to hear from them. They're going to care. They're going to make it known and be very direct about why they're reaching out to you, even if it's just to tell you, I miss you. But when somebody calling you like, how was so-and-so doing and what they got going on, what they kids doing, how are they kids? How did they kids turn out? What do you have going on? how much money you make and where you work at. You still live with so-and-so. Pay attention to this, because somebody will try to come into your life and suck you dry of all your resources, all your information, or whatever knowledge they think you have. And after they drain you and get it, you will never hear from them again until they want more new, updated information. Sometimes people will put on a mask and act like, I'm just calling you just to check in on you and the family, because they want to be able to pinpoint and check the temperature of what's going on, because they're plotting and planning. This is not a video message for you all to be paranoid and fearful and scared, but it's just bringing awareness to how people operate sometimes. Sometimes when people can't use the same method that they used to use to get what they wanted from you, they come up with a brand new method and strategy to get what they want. That is the video message. Well, guys, it's time for me to go because I have some other things to do. The Lord willing, I will be back with another video message. If any one of you have taken offense to anything I spoke about in this video message, it's okay. It's all right. I'm not worried about it. I am not concerned, because I know you will forgive me in the morning.